All right, guys, if you are here watching part 2, that means that you have finished reading chapter 5. And I just want to say, please don't play with matches. Don't play with fire. They are no good. They are not safe. Do not follow Byron's example. As you can see, it did not work out very well for him. But hopefully you enjoyed reading that chapter and that you found it funny and entertaining. So what we're going to start with now is our comprehension questions. I'm going to read them out loud to you, give you some examples of how you might answer them, and then you get to choose 2. So remember, there are 4, but you only answer 2. So question 1, what rule did Byron keep breaking, and why do you think he did it? So if I were you, I would think, what was the big conflict in this chapter? What was the big problem? What was the thing that Byron was doing that he really wasn't supposed to be doing? And why do you think he was doing it? And that, I think, is the only hint I can give you for question 1. Question 2, what was Mama's reaction when she caught Byron playing with matches in the bathroom? So reaction is how someone is feeling, what they say, what they look like, the tone of voice they use in a particular situation. So for example, let's say that I walked into my house and there were balloons and there was a chocolate cake sitting there that said, "For Miss Weston," my reaction, I would be so excited. I love cake. I love balloons. I would be surprised. I would be really happy, excited, jumping up and down. I would be wondering where the surprise came from, but that would be my reaction. So the question is asking, how did Mama react when she caught Byron playing with the matches in the bathroom? What was she thinking and feeling? And it's probably going to be really different. Your answer is probably going to be really different than what I just shared with you, that my reaction would be if I saw a surprise at my house. So what do you think a mom, or how do you think a mom would react to seeing their child playing with fire in the house? Question 3, what was Joey's reaction to Mama's punishment for Byron? How does Joey respond? So the word reaction here means the same thing. When Joey saw Mama punishing Byron for what he did, how was she acting? What was she saying? What was she feeling? What kind of voice was she using? Was she yelling? Was she crying? What was her reaction, and how does she respond? So remember, we talked about when you respond to something, you are taking an action. So what is her action? When Mama is trying to punish Byron, what are Joey's actions? What is she trying to do? I think that's a really good hint. I would go back to the part of the chapter where Joey, Mama, Byron, and Kenny are all in the living room. Question 4, what do you think about Mama's promise to Byron? Do you think she will keep her promise if it happens again? So the promise is that if he ever plays with matches again, she'll burn him. So what do you think about that promise? Do you think it's fair, unfair? And do you think, if you were going to make a prediction, if he were to do it again, do you think she would keep the promise and actually follow through with it? So those are the 4 questions that you have. What you're going to do now is pause the video and choose 2 questions of the 4 that I just read to you, and you're going to respond to them here in your packet. Just let us know what number you're doing. And when you're ready to go on to the comprehension activity, you can resume the video. All right, if you are still here with me on the video, that means that you have finished your comprehension questions and you are ready to do your activity. So you have 2 choices today and you only need to choose 1. So the first option is a journal entry. Pretend that you're Kenny and write a paragraph explaining the important parts of this chapter from his perspective. So pretend you're Kenny, you're going to say, I saw Byron do this. I heard Mama say this. I felt this way when this was going on. And you're going to pretend like you are actually the character in the story and you are writing the important things that you saw and heard and felt. So that is your option number 1. Option number 2 is to do a comic book summary. So on the next page of your packet, you'll these boxes here. And if that's not enough space, you can definitely use any scratch paper that you have to make your own. But your choice number 2 here is to make a comic strip that summarizes and illustrates the important events in the chapter. So remember, summarizing, we're taking a lot of information and we're breaking it down to just the most important parts. So you're going to choose the 4 most important things that you think happened in the chapter today, and you're going to tell them in order. First, this happened, next, this happened, then this happened, last, this happened. So you're going to tell us in order. And if you just do a little sentence to explain what it is that you're illustrating, and then the rest is up to you. You can draw and represent it however you would like. So those are your 2 choices for comprehension today. Go ahead and decide which one you're going to do. Pause the video and resume when you are ready for your exit ticket. All right, if you are here now, you are ready for your exit ticket, and you have 2 choices today for your exit ticket. So option number 1, how did Kenny and Joetta show courage in this chapter? Use text evidence to support your thinking. So in this question, courage is a word that means doing something even if you are nervous or afraid. And like we've talked about in a previous screencast, showing courage doesn't always mean standing up to a bully or, speaking up. Showing courage can also be telling someone how you feel, because that's a really scary thing to tell someone how you feel. So showing courage could be telling someone how you feel. It could be doing the right thing, even if there is a consequence, right? Doing the right thing even when things are hard, even if you're afraid of what might happen after you do the right thing. That's showing courage as well. So I want you to think about Kenny and Joetta and how they were responding to Byron's actions in this chapter, and think about and explain to us how they showed courage. And you can go back to the text to find an example to support your thinking. So you can write your exit ticket answer down here, or you can type it in Google Classroom. The second choice you have, option 2, says, in this chapter, Kenny knows that Byron is playing a dangerous game, but he chooses not to snitch on his big brother. Think of a time that you knew a friend or sibling was doing something dangerous. How did you react? How did the situation unfold? Meaning, like, what happened? So how did you react? What were you feeling? What were you thinking? What happened? And if you could go back, would you do anything differently? So you have 2 choices here: explaining to us how they showed courage, or putting yourself in Kenny's place and thinking about what you did when you saw an older sibling or a friend doing something that they weren't supposed to do. So those are your choices. You can write them here in the space we provided, or share them with us in Google Classroom. The next lesson, we will also be focusing on Kenny and Byron again. So I look forward to seeing you for Chapter 6. Have a great day.